This swamp, there's something primal about it. So many legends and folklore and stories locked up in this eerie ecosystem. When life began on this planet, it might have been in a setting not too different from this. And while there are no dinosaurs here now, there are some creatures who look as if they'd be perfectly comfortable coexisting with the giants who roamed the Earth 100 million years ago. Don't get any better than that. Bam! Somewhere in this swamp is one of the most amazing creatures we may ever encounter. We'll also find some strange humans as well. Welcome to the bayous of Louisiana. A toad. How's that for a sunrise, huh? What a beautiful place. Well, clearly, my experience has taken you to a region where there are angels about, and a region where there are wonderful creatures like this. Isn't this beautiful? We're in the swamps and bayous of Louisiana, a place that if we look just in the right places, we can find some extraordinary wildlife. Like this gorgeous, ooh, it's okay, like this beautiful, beautiful bird of prey. It's a barred owl. Now this animal, I didn't actually capture this animal. She's part of a rehab release program. She's done her homework. We've done a couple of wing exercises. She's mastered the art of capturing prey, and now she's ready to take on the wilds of the swamps of Louisiana once again. Amazing birds. Just look at that face. Her eyes are extraordinary. They have amazing vision. These eyes are excellent for spotting prey at night. The price she pays for having such good eyesight and having such large eyeballs is that she can't individually move her eyeballs. Instead, she relies on a very extensive rotation of her head to spot prey. I'm sorry? Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say that. She was just telling me, would you shut up and get to the point? You got a great adventure ahead. There you go, buddy. Not yet. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go, buddy. I love owls. I love Louisiana. Let's have a great adventure. This whole massive pile of rubble is all part of an old sugarcane mill. You know what I love when I travel around the world? I start talking like people. I don't really talk like this, but I do now, because I hear that around me. No, but right now, these are the ruins of an old sugar mill. Now, sugarcane attracts rats, okay? And rats attract one very special predator, at least special to me, because I'm a herpetologist. It's the canebrake rattlesnake. So we're just gonna look through this stuff and see what we can find.
You know what I just love about this place, and I think you're really gonna love it too, is I love the solarium. At one time that was a ceiling. We had a flood and it sort of collapsed in, and now all that sunlight just pours into the morning. It's just lovely. You and your folks are just gonna love living here. And oh yeah, that too. Oh, you see him right there? We're just gonna throw him in for you, cause you know, he just has a great story about this place. Your kids will love him.
I'm gonna remove this slowly so you can have a look. Try to keep out of strike range. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Isn't he beautiful? This is the canebrake rattlesnake. Now I want to hold him in a way that I'm not gonna get struck, because he is very venomous. This is a type of venomous snake that you don't want to pin. He's pretty active, pretty rambunctious, pretty spunky. And if I were to pin him with this stick, there's a good chance that I would injure him, because he'd probably pull his head back really quick, and I might injure his spine. I also expose myself to a serious bite. And these animals can deliver a nasty bite, very, very venomous. He's got huge venom glands and very long opposable fangs, and he will inject in you copious amounts of venom. If he chooses, he could deliver a dry bite. But if you get a wet bite, you're getting a lot of potent, powerful, tissue-destroying venom inside you. And there are legends about these animals taking people down and taking pack animals down. There are these stories that they would lose so many mules that were brought into Hall Cane in these fields. They lose so many of these mules that they literally lined the mules up around the plantation, and they would move them in as the mules would be moved out after they were struck by snakes. Timber rattlesnakes, and canebrakes, for that matter, are a snake which are disappearing very quickly from the landscape. An animal that, in just a matter of years, will need some serious conservation effort in order to keep them around our planet. But isn't that beautiful? What a gorgeous snake. Here you go, Mr. Canebrake. Why don't you go get yourself a nice rat there? Beautiful.
The bayou seems to be alive with the sound of music. Let's check this out.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, that sounded pretty good. Can I have a seat?
I don't mind.
Thank you.
Make yourself at home.
Not bad. Well, you got a guitar here. Would it be okay if I just gave this a try? Now, I'm not professing to be a master guitar player, but let's see here. I think I can follow you there. How am I doing?
Not bad.
All right.
You got it. You got a real nice.
Whoa, I got a nice...
I was just saying that. You got a real pretty.
Excuse me? I gotta go find some snakes, so I'll
Hey.
see you later.
Where are you going?
That was weird. That guy looks familiar. You know, he might be part of the long-lost Louisiana Corwin clan. Coming up, believe it or not, there are alligators here. Who would have guessed?
And later, if I can catch it, one of the strangest looking creatures you've ever seen. Going deeper into the swamp, the feeling of isolation increases. It's just me and the animals who call this place home. Oh yeah, and this strange guy who keeps following me.
Hey, where are you going? I think you misunderstand me. Come back here.
Here you are. Look at this. Oh, gone. It's a good place for finding amphiumas. It's really muddy. They might snake their heads up. Ooh, there's a frog. This is frog country in here. Isn't that great? This is the green tree frog, a very, very common amphibian you can find in these ancient cypress trees around swamps. You can also find them in the gutter of a house or hanging underneath a very moist shingle. During the daytime hours, these animals like to stay where it's nice and moist. That's why he was hiding out in the crevice of a very squishy, rotten log. During the nighttime hours is when they appear. Okay, these animals are mostly nocturnal, and they'll come out at night. They'll call during the breeding season. They will also forage for their food, hunt for their food. Lots of different sorts of things will make the diet of this animal. Creatures like crickets, moths, flies, all sorts of things. And what's amazing about these tree frogs is look at this. They're just masters when it comes to climbing. At the tip of each finger is a suction disc, and that disc creates a vacuum on the surface that it's climbing on. It can hang upside down. It can adhere to a surface, bing, as smooth as glass. Aren't they just great? Just gonna get them up here. There you go, and I'm gonna place them right back in this little cranny of this rotten tree. Box turtle shell. Is you okay, Mommy? Is he gonna be okay? He's gone to heaven, sweetheart. Nice. Very nice. Look at this. If you look at the Earth, you'll see there's a coil, and that coil is part of the body of just a real wonderful, wonderful snake. Look at this, isn't he? Whoa, where are you going, buddy? Look at you. He's saying, why are you messing with me? Beautiful, isn't he? Just look at this snake. This is a speckled king snake, and he's not striking. The whole secret is that I rely on this animal's primary way of moving and dealing with its environment, and that is to slide across either the surface of the earth or the surface of the branches. So my job is to make my hands like those surfaces, and by doing that, he's not taking me as any sort of predator. I'm just sort of a part of the ecosystem. What many species of king snakes share in common is a food source they like to target in the wild. In the case of king snakes, they're named kings because they like to eat other snakes. And it is not impossible for an animal like this to prey on snakes like rattlesnakes or other venomous species of serpents. Amazing creatures and beautiful. You're looking for a good swimming hole? Well, here you go. You want to rip yourself a new A. Definitely don't want to be swimming in this pond, because underneath this blanket of water hyacinth is, about 30 or 40,000 pounds of alligators. This beautiful pond is an important breeding site for these animals. In fact, we've got 2 adults right here, which I'm going to pass very carefully. There's one, and there's another. This gives you a real good feel of what a gator nest is like. Because what these gators actually do is, whether they know it or not, they're creating a compost heap. Because all these reeds and grasses stack together and they begin to decay, and that decaying process creates heat energy. Thus, the compost heap becomes an incubator. It takes about, 60 to 70 days for those eggs to cook up to the point of hatching. And what the mother does is she comes to the nest, and what draws her to it is it's the sound of the baby gator calling its mom. The mother then picks up the egg and, oh wow, look at this. It's exactly what I wanted to show you. And you don't get a better illustration of what it's like to be an alligator when you come to the world. Look at this. We have an emerging alligator. Hear that sound? That's the sound it makes, which draws the mother in. The whole secret is, when you're this big, you don't have a lot of energy to burn. So the mother alligator does something to assist. The mother will bite the shell and work it up and help it. Wow. Is that cool or what?
There you go.
Isn't this nice? Aren't you beautiful? Now I can take a breath, because I am very happy. Because in my hands, I've got a young alligator, probably about 3, maybe 4 years in age. They grow about a foot each year. And this one, tail is a tool for propulsion. This is how this animal maneuvers through the water. Essentially, this animal is designed to hunt. And of course, the best tools are what you see in its mouth. It's got a deadly array of teeth that score along the bottom jaw and the top jaw. When he closes his mouth, those teeth overlap. And as you can see, some of the teeth actually hang outside of the jaw. And he has the ability that when he's hunting, he just pulls his head up like this. His whole body, whether it be 3 feet or 15 feet, is submerged. And then just sort of scanning the surface looking for his prey are those eyes. And even the eyes are camouflaged. Look at that. Designed to disappear in the mucky water. Now, if everything goes well with this creature and he has a chance to avoid becoming dinner for other animals, he might reach, 15, 16 feet in length. It's not common, but there are big 15, 16-foot gators swimming around the swamp and through other parts of the South. So let's say, farewell to the beautiful alligator. Au revoir. It's time for more alligators, no?
Still ahead, almost impossible to find. But we've got him. No, not these guys. There he is.
And later, he's here somewhere, a real prehistoric monster. We're about 25, 30 miles outside of New Orleans, and we're at an old military bunker site. Now, what's great about this place is that it's habitat to a huge population of very weird North American, Central, and South American mammals. The thing about an armadillo is their vision isn't very good. So as long as we sneak up very quietly, we should get nice and close. The other thing about an armadillo, they've got an excellent sense of smell, excellent hearing. If we keep that in mind, I think I might catch an armadillo. Relax. Well, this is an armadillo. These guys can run pretty fast. Yeah, you're awesome. Look at this. What a great creature. What an amazing, amazing, prehistoric-looking animal. Wow. Isn't this neat? Isn't... Oy vey. What a day. Now, this guy's giving me a run for my money. This is a non-banded armadillo, an extraordinary creature. And these animals spend most of the daytime hours underground. And then when the sun starts to set, they emerge and they do their foraging. They're looking for ants, termites, worms. These creatures love annelids like garden worms or earthworms. And if you look at the end of their fingers, you'll see this creature has some extraordinary claws, which are wonderful for ripping the earth apart as this animal goes in search of its food. Oh, yeah. Its #1 way of protecting itself is its armor. Its skin is very plate-like, as you can see. And what you find in front of these two major plates right here are these accordion or telescopic-like plates, which are, he's almost like an accordion. Weenie, 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 weenie.
Oh, I don't know what to do. I am out here.
Just down the road a little ways is the Big Easy, New Orleans. And a chance for us to encounter a creature that you would never see in the wild. Watch this. Here you go, buddy. Isn't that neat? Now, we've escaped the wilds of the bayous to show you something that is nearly impossible to see in nature. and that is this giant right here. This is an 8-foot alligator. American alligator, Alligator mississippiensis. Anatomically and physically, he's just like every other alligator you'd see out there floating in the bayous, except one tiny little thing, one tiny little genetic thing caused him to have a unique occurrence or event happen to his pigment. The actual melanophores, or the pigment sites, aren't present on this animal. He's got color around his eyes. He's not a true albino, but most of his body is pink or whitish in color. And what's amazing is, look at it, it's got blue eyes. It's the first time I've ever seen an alligator with blue eyes there. Sorry, I don't have any more fish here, buddy. I got a chiclet. He doesn't like chiclets. He's a carnivore. Now, here's a great mystery. Why would you not see an animal this big in the wild with this sort of color? Two big reasons. Reason number one is that when this creature hatches out, it's about 6 to 8 inches in length, essentially it's a lure for any predators to come grab it. Doesn't have that natural camouflage, it sticks out, and it's an easy target. Reason number two, as a predator, okay, it's visible, it's obvious to the prey it's trying to hunt. Those are probably the 2 greatest reasons why this is such a rare sight to see, especially in a wild situation.
The floodwaters of as many as 38 states find their way to the Chafalaya Basin, which covers more than 70 miles of south-central Louisiana. This liquid habitat is a continually changing maze of bayous and streams and lakes, and is home to a diverse array of creatures. Okay, back to the swamp. Let's go see what other creatures are lurking in this watery wilderness.
I don't know, Tom. Maybe you should paint the fence. Let's go ask Injun Joe. I don't know, Huckleberry Finn.
I love traipsing through the bayou swamps. Your brain just sort of tumbles back to centuries past. So many legends and folklore and stories locked up in this eerie ecosystem. Like a lot of things in the South, this is one of the creatures I really like a lot.
This capture is going to be pretty easy because this guy is getting ready to shed, so it's not very dramatic.
And I can tell he's going to shed because his eyes are blue, his skin is blue, he's in that opaque cycle. I'm holding an animal which has served as seed to many legends which have grown and weaved their way throughout this swamp. Ghost stories told from generation to the next often involve this creature. It's the infamous cottonmouth or water moccasin. Hear that? Legend has it, Jeff Cole inside its mouth. I do this very gently. Clearly, if you ever encounter a water moccasin, you'd never do this. But if you look, see that? He's got fangs, a pair of opposable fangs, and he uses those fangs both as a tool to grab onto the prey, and most importantly, to inject the prey or predator with venom. That mouth. See that? White, white, white mouth. Cottonmouth. A beautiful animal. So we're gonna place this guy right back in this little niche. He's chasing me, and they don't chase you. They never chase anybody.
Hey, you there. Wait up. Hey, I ain't gonna hurt you. Slow down. Up next, if you're gonna trap a bear, you need the right bait.
So what kind of dunce do you use?
We'll also answer the age-old question, what does a bear weigh in the woods?
Woke up this morning, and to my surprise, it can be cold in Louisiana. This is Steve Reagan, and Janet Ertel. Both of them are wildlife biologists. In fact, they went to the school I went to, UMass Amherst. And they're doing this amazing study on black bear. It's a study that's being conducted through the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They can get us up close and personal with luteolus or the Louisiana black bear. All right, where do we find this bear?
Out in the woods.
All right, I'm ready.
This bear usually has been hitting us, and we have just a modified watch for a timer. And it's usually been coming about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is one of the spots we think this afternoon we'll have a better chance at.
So what kind of donuts do you use? Can I see what they look like? I see. I won't eat it.
We should have given him some breakfast.
Here's a nice...
Okay. This will thank you, bear. We've got a signal. I'm gonna go see if it leads us to a bear. Okay, we have a culvert trap. It's like a round cylinder, and the door is down, which means we might have a bear. We got a bear. She's sleeping.
No matter how calm she seems, don't touch
The cover, yeah, because she can hook.
Yeah, she could hook you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put any body part in there,
Yeah.
you'll stay in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the, at least the component of our kit that we use for actually the stage of getting your drug.
To knock her down.
Right. And we have the drugs that we're going to use with syringes and needles to hydrate it and get it all ready. We have a thermometer.
Now, how will you deliver this?
Okay, so we'll make up our drug, and then we're going to use our blow darts.
There it is.
Now the thing we want to do is just leave her alone.
Yeah.
She'll relax, and most likely she'll go down right there
Great.
and be really smooth.
Do you want to remove the dart or?
Yeah. Careful with it.
Yeah. The whole thing is to take this information, take the data in a way that is as least invasive as possible. So they'll monitor temperature, all sorts of things, cover her face, so there's really no stimulation at all. What smells like milk?
That's her.
That's her teats?
Well, no, that's her. That's bear smell.
Bear smell?
Yeah.
Is it milk? Almost smells like dried milk.
Yeah.
It smells like dried milk. Well, these claws will be used to shimmy up a tree, rip open a nest, powerful enough to take down prey, delicate enough to tweeze off berries.
98.8.
Is that a typical temperature?
Yeah, it's really nice. Anywhere between 98 and 100 degrees.
So it's almost like human beings.
Yeah, pretty much. They're a little bit hotter than us.
And how long will she stay down?
She'll be out probably for about an hour, 2 hours.
Okay.
And you can see by the wear on her teeth, she's a very old female. The molars are worn way down. She's probably
How old do you think she is?
15 years old.
Really?
And they can manipulate these lips. I mean, where they can actually take canning jars and open the lids on them.
Yeah.
Take a single blueberry off of
Bush.
All right, so should we get some information before she wakes up?
These are some of the differences in luteolus that we're measuring right now. Some of these measurements are where you see the differences.
27, does that seem right?
Yep.
58, does that seem right? 26. Tight, snug.
Yeah, snug again.
80. And they actually do have a little bit of a tail there. 154. It's a little dirtier down at the end.
Yeah. You get used to it.
Boy, that's been worn down, huh?
See all the berries that she's been stepping in. And
She could use a nice pedicure. 8.5.
And this is where you're glad that they're immobile, because you're going to basically yank it up by its roots. And it's the root that's important to us.
And that's for genetic studies and chemical studies, see what they're reading.
And it's a pretty standard thing that's done now.
Let's go ahead and get a weight on her.
That's right.
And that will be the basics to our data collection, and then we can just...
You want to hook this one in, or does it matter?
She
It
hanging?
looks like she's off the ground. Yep, she's clear.
150.
150.
Yeah.
Good. You can see she's got her antenna out, so
Yep.
she'll be beeping for us to hear. She's ready to go.
An hour later, our bear is starting to wake up.
She's still pretty groggy. She's doing that mouthing and tonguing motion, which is a signal that she's sort of in and out. But she's well on her way.
Still ahead, a little picnic with the gators.
Let's say you were to latch onto my arm.
It was nice knowing you.
It was nice knowing you.
Then later, something that has been hiding in this swamp for millions of years. Here in the deep swamp, we can hear the music created by the creatures who inhabit the bayou.
Try to get out of this road without killing myself. These boats are wonderful for maneuvering through a swamp because they've got a flat bottom. They can ride across the reeds and mud and earth. Problem is they are a very top-heavy boat, and you could very easily. I planned that. This is so sad. Don't die, little buddy. Come back. Actually, he's not dead. This is an amazing thing. It's one of nature's greatest survival strategies. It's called playing possum, or playing death, or feigning death. What he does is by laying here like this, and a creature comes along, he's producing some nasty smells at the back end, he's got a little phlegm leaking out of his mouth, and although he's packed with protein, he comes across as an animal that probably would not make the best meal. What makes opossums unique? Well, they're marsupials. Other marsupials include kangaroos and wallabies and wombats, but what's neat about them is they are North America's only true marsupial. And what's special about marsupials is how they reproduce. Now, just like all mammals, they will give birth to offspring. But in the case of a marsupial, when this creature has its babies, okay, when they're born, they're smaller than your fingernail. And she can give birth to 10 or more, maybe even a dozen baby opossum. What's just totally cool about opossum birth is that you can fit a whole brood of baby opossum, a dozen opossum, in a tablespoon at birth. That's how small they are.
I'd like to go even deeper into the swamp and see more alligators, but not in this thing. I'm gonna pay a visit to someone who knows the backcountry like the back of his hand.
Wow, this is some really... Do you ever see the gators up in here?
Yeah, they'll climb out on the bank sometimes, sun themselves.
It's really a beautiful area. This is Bill Munson, and Bill is keeper and manager of this wildlife sanctuary, which is how many acres?
2,600 acres.
2,600 acres of protected, beautiful swamp habitat.
It's not hunted, fished, trapped, or trespassed
Totally
on.
protected. And you've got a special way to lure us to one very large gator, right?
Yeah, we've become quite fond of him. He's bigger than the state record gator. Raccoons crossing the bridge. Mama and a baby right there. Come on.
Look at the size of it. That gator has a head that's about 1.5 feet in length from the tip of its snout to the back of its eyes. It's about 15 feet in length, probably weighing a good 1,500 pounds. Huge. Now I want to show you a big gator right here. Here we have this creature, 14, 15 feet in length. He's weighing well over 1,000 pounds. A huge, huge, colossal creature. And he's nearly invisible. You could be walking along these banks and never know this alligator was there. This animal is 100% camouflage. Come on. Ooh! That's how you get him really pissed. There you go. So how old do you think this guy is?
Oh, he's well over 100 years old.
Wow. That's an old gator.
Yeah, he is.
Now, Munson, there's a lot of controversy in an environment like this. You know, we're feeding a wild animal.
Yeah.
And in other parts of Louisiana, they don't want to do that because these animals become used to people and can become dangerous. Now, how do you justify feeding the gators in this environment?
Well, we feed them only normally. We'll only feed this gator 2, maybe 3 pieces of chicken. It's not enough for him to really exist on, just a small substance to his daily diet. That way it keeps him coming to us. We can check on him. We know how healthy he is. We know where he is. Right. And this is a wild swamp here. Yeah. It's just closed to fishing, hunting, and trapping.
Now, let's say I was here feeding this gator, and he were to, let's say he were to latch onto my arm.
It was nice knowing you.
It was nice knowing me. I'd be a very expensive part of the food chain.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
There's nothing.
That would be a healthy choice.
Well,
I'm low in fat.
That's debatable.
High in protein.
You know?
Thanks a lot, Bill. That was wonderful.
You bet. And goodbye now.
Thanks.
You guys be careful. Have a good one.
Coming up, Legends of the Swamp. One with fur and one, well, that'll be a surprise.
Moving all around me are about 1,000 creatures. 999 I don't like. They're mosquitoes. If you don't like mosquitoes, you do not want to spend summertime in the swamps of Louisiana. There's one creature that is precious. It's a swamp rabbit. Now, normally, this would be a tough animal for us to have contact with. They're very common. They're by no means an endangered or rare creature, but they're elusive. They've got excellent camouflage for blending, and they have some unique behaviors that allow them to avoid becoming prey for predators. Now, what's neat about this individual is that he's part of a rehab program. He was found as a baby rabbit, and now he's ready at that stage to be released, which gives us a chance to experience what makes him so special. And you're gonna see something that you've probably never seen a rabbit do before, and that's swim. Swim like Esther Williams. Okay, buddy, you ready? Let's see what he does. Look at that, huh? Okay, that was good. You can come back now. This mud will swallow you if you let it. We're in the Chafunkti River system. And there is a reason why I've selected this particular spot. Because I know that living right in this area is the largest alligator snapping turtle you are ever gonna see. It's an individual that's actually being used, or future use, in a breeding program for these animals. And I know she's around here. Hear that? And hearing a hollow thud? For a head, huh? Oh my God, look at this. My sciatica. Now this is what Louisiana is all about. It's all about amazing creatures like this. Because we have just unearthed what is the largest species of freshwater turtle throughout the Americas. And it's probably one of the top 2 or 3 freshwater turtles you're gonna find in the entire world. Look at this animal. I mean, it just blows you away. You feel like you've stepped back in time, you've time traveled 1 million years ago, more than 1 million years. You could go 100 million years past, and you would find creatures just like this. This is an animal that has gone from one generation to the next, right on through and past the dinosaurs into contemporary time periods. And it's made this transition with very little change to its design. But I think his best way for capturing his prey is just by standing still and allowing himself to disappear. What he does is he just lays at the bottom of that pond or river, and he just sits there with his mouth open, agape. And he lets the prey come to him. And I don't know if you can see this, but if you look inside this creature's mouth, look right around the tongue region, And what you'll discover is a small, fleshy, tubercle-like structure. It's a lure. And he sits there, and he opens his mouth, and he twitches, and he dangles that lure. And he's waiting for some real stupid fish to swim by. And what happens is that fish comes in, that fish thinks he's gonna have dinner, and he's like, hello, I'm an amphiuma. Oh, look at that.
Ah, look, I can't breathe. I can't feel my legs.
And that's how he eats.
Ah.
Now, I understand when you see these old-timer Cajuns walking around, and you go, give me 5, and they give you 2. People that live in this area that grew up hunting these turtles and living off their flesh, many of them will say, oh, we don't hunt turtles anymore. Reason why? Simply they're disappearing. Disappearing because of overhunting, disappearing because of a loss of habitat, and other factors. And there's a good chance, a very tragic chance, that in the next 5 or 10 years, this will be an animal which will be endangered. And that would be a tremendous loss to American natural history if we were ever to lose such an amazing beast as the alligator snapping turtle. Now that I found that monster alligator snapping turtle, I think I could use a little relaxation. And this looks like a perfect place.
Hello? Yeah, I'm coming. Well, it's you again. How you doing? Now you relax now.
Listen, you know, you're really freaking me out. I'm
What?
just here to look at the animals, okay? And
Look at that puss. You look more scared than a swamp rabbit.
yeah, of course I'm gonna be scared. I mean, after all, you're trying to tell me that I've got some sort of nice...
You misunderstand me.
What do you mean I misunderstood you?
All I was saying is that you just got a real nice way with the guitar. Yeah, you're real good.
Well, it was even further exacerbated when you said that I had a real pretty way of...
Oh, that? No. I was just saying there that you're just pretty good with the strings. You're just real pretty with your fingers when you just down there play them strings is all. That's it.
Oh, I feel like such an idiot.
And I just
I
want to
don't know
invite
what
you
to
to a
say.
little bit of Cajun hospitality, give you a little pinch of good Cajun culture. So you just step right in, you're going to have a good time. It's going to have a real good time.
So my trip to Louisiana was wonderful. It was exciting to maneuver up those bayous and see all that wonderful wildlife, and I made a friend in this whole great experience. So until we meet again, I look forward to seeing you on the Jeff Groen Experience. You ready to dance, Miss Betty?
Yes.
Okay, let's play, Goosh Goosh. Ready?